of poetry this year in 2013. So if you like what you hear tonight, be sure to follow his blog, poeticsigma1.blogspot.com, and follow him on Twitter at poeticsigma. So Will Dennis, come up here. Thank you. Yeah.
This first piece I wrote, and hopefully you guys can relate to me. You ever seen somebody you was interested in and it was always the wrong place, the wrong time? You try to, talk to that person. So you'll see them in class, and by the time you approach them, they left, or you see them somewhere, by the time you approach them, they're already gone. So this first piece is called There She Goes. Good evening, my name is Will Dennis. I'm a spoken word artist. I've been writing poetry since I was 9 years old, been performing since I was 15. The reason why I write poetry is it allows myself to give the crowd an outlet. It allows them to see a different side of me that no one really realizes until I step on that stage and I take on a new persona. I write to give people that can't muster up the courage to say what's on their mind a voice. I write to unwind from my tiresome day or to unleash my emotions. I used to have a temper, and now instead of unleashing my frustrations out on somebody or something, I unleash it out on the pen and the paper. That's why I write, and that's what poetry has done for me. Damn, she's fine. Once again, she crosses my path in my mind, and my heart swells up with the feelings that only I and God know. So as she walks on by, I wall away in the distance, and thoughts begin to cross my mind of how it might be if we were together. I think of drifting away with her alone, where only us and the elements is our audience. And as I smell her aromatic fragrance, I clutch to her like women clutch handbags. I think about us making love and the sound of her breathing and moaning as our soundtrack. And then I think about the long nights just enriched in conversation until, no surprise, I realize that she might be the one. Nah, she's more than a pretty face and a smile. Not poison or the Belle Biv kind, but more of a hypnotic serum that is strong enough to send my mind into a frenzy in an instant and have me tripping over my words like an infant. Because she is pure beauty. That all natural, no frills, come as you are beauty. That you don't even need makeup or jewelry to turn his beauty. That God broke the mold when he made you beauty. That if beauty is only skin deep, that you are close to the bone marrow type beauty. But I digress. So I start to think about the reasons why I feel this way. It's because I know that I can be the Nubian king to her queen? Or is it her lips, her hips, her attitude that seems to keep me transfixed as if I need a fix to suppress an addiction that I cannot fix? So I sit here and think to myself that maybe I should introduce myself and make it known that I exist. Today is the day that I sweep her off her feet like Prince Charming did to Snow White, or Dad did to Mom, or she does to me. She doesn't know it yet, so it's up to me to break the ice with her beauty as my motivation and a toothpick as my weapon. So I start to make my game plan and approach her slowly so she doesn't realize that I've been watching her every move by approaching her with such conversation to chip away at the ice like, aren't you Greek, or wasn't you in my class last semester? So I start to make my move and do my moves. Deodorant, check. Eyebrows, cool. How's my breath? Alright, cool. So I start to approach her, but damn, there she goes. Thank you. So this next piece, has anyone ever seen the movie by Eddie Murphy called 1,000 Words? Yeah. Or heard of it? The movie is about this guy that pretty much he has 1,000 words before he dies. And even though it wasn't a great movie, I thought it was a dope concept. So imagine that someone told you they didn't tell you had years to live or months to live, but your life is defined by a word count. That's crazy. So this poem is inspired by that. This poem is called 500 Words. If I had 500 words left before I die, I would tell you how I feel as concisely while maintaining the raw essence of my aspirations. I would try to reach out to as many people as I can by saying hello to 100 people who thought today would be the last day of their existence. Or maybe one hello over a loudspeaker so that 100 people can hear it. Efficiency. If I had 500 words left, I would finally cash out the bottle that contains all the pennies that I've accumulated for your thoughts, and search for all the others that are in those wishing wells as the dream of you becoming mine finally became a reality, and cash them into the savings account of my heart in order to accrue more of your interest. Because you see, I wouldn't speak these words. I would act them out. Realizing that if a picture's worth 1,000 words, I would use these 500 to create so many pictures it could fill the Sistine Chapel to show the world that you are picture perfect. No filter. I know if I speak with the notion of 500 words, those that actually care about me would try to ask me for an explanation, thus utilizing 37 extra words, and yes, I've counted, so it's up to me to hope that they look into the pros of realization in the whites of my eyes as I remain speechless. So with these 500 words, I will only need 3 to tell people who I care about how I feel, and 2 to tell those who tried to wound me as I escaped the barrel of life, and use the majority to give a voice to those who cannot muster the courage to say what's on their mind. But I know if I was to spend my last words here on earth with anyone, it will be you. Limitless thoughts, limited colloquies. Wishing I had more to say, but I know that our hearts are so intertwined that you know what I have to say before it's mere utterance. So as my words hastily deplete, if I was ever speechless in the time that I was here, no, it was because I didn't have any words to say. But it was because my thoughts for you became my ghostwriter, allowing the words that I want to say to resonate off my spirit with so much magnitude that you could feel it miles away. And know that those 5 more minutes we could have spent on the phone wasn't because I was tired. It was because I couldn't wait to see you in my dreams so badly that I couldn't wait to go to sleep. I wish that I can give you more pieces of me so when it's all said and done I can say that I only have 500 words. This third piece, shout out to the ladies in the building, how y'all doing, all right? This third piece, it was inspired by a conversation I had with my boys, and there's 3 words that I don't like women saying, and those words are, niggas ain't shit. I hate when I hear females say that word, so this poem was inspired by those 3 words, so this poem is entitled, Niggas Ain't Shit, A Male's Response. See, you're always telling your girlfriend this nonsense about how niggas ain't shit. Well, the answer to this is quite simple. How about you stop dating these ain't shit niggas? Well, have you ever actually sat and reflected on how you're about to be on to the next one? Because the current one you have is just like your last one, and how all of them are just like your past ones, and how no one could be just like your best one, but you're still single. Maybe it's because you place your standards a little too high. You want everybody wants you to have not seen past the physical facades, looking for that swan, but you're the ugly duckling. Not by beauty, but by grace. And it's disgrace how you put every dude in the same category, chastise but maintain the same criteria as you're looking in the same damn place. Meanwhile, the one that will actually treat you right and yearn for your embrace is right in front of your face, but you're so blinded by the tunnel vision and you see past the friend zone into the eyes of a dude that just want to take you home and bone as you wake up the next morning confused as you leave their home. Or maybe it's because of something about you that makes us not want to deal with you for too long. Every time you say you're single, you play the victim by spitting the same symptoms about how you became single, but not once have you said what you did. Now, I'm not calling you a liar, but I just find it funny. Every time you say you're single, you say what he did and not what you did or didn't do. Or maybe it's because you don't click with a dude on an intellectual level. I'm not calling you stupid, but it's kind of funny. Every time I try to mention something of substance, as you mentioned Bad Girls Club and Stevie J, all that stuff leads to being a turn-off, which allows us to deal with you for a few minutes or get turned off. Or maybe it's because you let your last relationship dictate your next. How you heard her before and you let one little situation remind you of a past vex, like a retweet, 5 Instagram likes, or a 9:47 p.m. text. So you let dudes get close and push them away because you feel a snake strikes best when one's guard is down. Well, sweetheart, you never know what's in store for you until you take your hand off your e-brake and put yourself in cruise control. But you're still so mystified and misty-eyed because your real lies couldn't realize his real lies that we can never win. So yeah, I know you have been hurt in the past. But it doesn't mean you can establish your opinion way too fast by thinking that all men suffer because of what a few men have done for you. Because I refuse to pay for his mistakes. And letting your past affect your future's fate while the one that you were destined for we have to wait to partake. You're so busy looking for Mr. Right and not Mr. Right now. Which explains how you're single. Not because you choose to be, but because you want to be. Because if you can't find tranquility within yourself, it is useless to seek it elsewhere. So yeah, you keep believing that niggas ain't shit. All this attitude is going to do is turn the good ones away from you. You realize the more you say these 3 words, we take 3 steps back because we refuse to be attacked for defending ourselves for something that we didn't do. But with all due respect, it might not be these ain't shit niggas that are keeping you single. The problem might actually be you. Thank you. Alright, so this is my last piece for the night, this piece is inspired. I'm very ethnocentric. I'm very proud of who I am. I'm very proud of being an African American male. And one thing my mom always told me is, America's nightmare is an educated black male or female. So this poem is called America's Nightmare. You see, I am a member of an elite group. Even though it constitutes within the 99% of those with the 1% of the wealth, it contains 100% of the ambition and potential that exists within our society that still silently sees us as 3/5 of a human being but constitutes 75% of the money spent per day. Meanwhile, our men populate 60% of those in prison, but actually 15% actually deserve to be there while being racially profiled 95% of the time. But hey, you do the math. This group, which continues to live the dream that King laid down for us while remaining awake through a great revolution and keeping in notion the battle of the bullet as dreams of success and happiness seems to never escape us day by day. Constantly and consistently fighting to not be a statistic while remaining simplistic and artistically linguistic, being so materialistic but not following unrealistic needs while remaining opportunistic and taking heed to the system that is not designed for us. All the while taking a road less traveled, which ironically is a road aligned for us. You see, we are the invisible women and men, the Ralph Ellisons of the world, hidden from the masses in the media because the government, Clear Channel, BET, VH1 decides to demean our race by making those things the headlines. Meanwhile, the things that should be the headlines are swept under the rug. It's crazy in the light of positivity, negativity seems to eclipse it. And the reason why we are overshadowed because the government realized we have the power to take this world by storm and they cannot stand it. So they have planned it by planting it. Guns, liquor, drugs, as a way to attack each other, as a way to keep each other from uplifting each other. But recently we have seen past the mystification. Each one starting to teach one so we can be the future leaders that we become, all while the government tries to increase the number of us in prison because what is going on with our race is not what they envision. So they try to arrest us for petty crimes like a broken taillight or hopping in the back of a city bus. Meanwhile, those that actually possess the wealth are the criminals. But I digress. You see, this group, the invisible women and men, are indivisible and becoming the new Nat Turners and Booker T. Washingtons, becoming more educated in social justice as we raise our fists in the air silently. Excellence while showing the world that old habits die young. Instead of being granted our 40 acres, we are earning it. So you see, this group that I belong to, that we belong to, are our dreams, but America's nightmare. Young, gifted, and black. Thank you. Follow me on Twitter, Poetic Sigma, poeticsigma1.blogspot.com. She kind of let the cat out the bag. I will be publishing a book of poetry in 2013, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you.